Hi there, Teacher Flavia again, and I'm excited to be back. I would like for us to be able to conclude our growth mindset series, and I am going to conclude them by sharing with us practical ways in which we can be able to grow a growth mindset in our learners. And I'm going to share just 5 things that you can be able to practically do in order to be able to grow this mindset in your learners. The first thing is that we need to be able to praise wisely. Someone is wondering, what is this and what has it got to do with the growth mindset? Yes, growth mindset people praise the process. Remember, we said a growth mindset is the belief that you can do anything when you work hard and you put in effort. Yes, if you want to grow a growth mindset in your learners, what you do is that you praise them wisely. Do not praise their ability, you are brilliant. Praise the hard work that they have been able to put in. Because when you praise their ability, they will begin to feel like, even if I do not work hard, I can still be able to achieve. But when you praise the work that they have put in, you are attributing their success to the work that they have been able to put in. So as you praise wisely, praising the process, you are helping them appreciate the fact that if they can be able to work at anything, they can then be able to achieve. That is praising wisely. The second thing is avoid labels. Now, when you label students, you can either label them brilliant or you can label them the opposite that I will not use, okay? When you label the student brilliant, they begin to feel like, even if I don't work hard, I am very brilliant. And so, you know, they don't have to exert themselves. And when you label them the other way, they begin to feel like they are inefficient. They begin to feel like they cannot measure up because they have a tag on them of they are not, able to perform. Before I learned the growth mindset, I was a very strong proponent of having streams according to ability. But you know what? When I got to understand that these streams label the children, I was like, no, this is not the way that we are supposed to go. The students in the stream that is labeled weak begin to believe that they are weak and therefore there is nothing that can be done. You will actually begin to notice that they will begin to have discipline challenges. Those that were exerting themselves a little stop to exert themselves a little because in their minds they begin to believe that they are not good enough. Why? Because they have been labeled. And then labeling them on this other positive end also is not good because we have seen children who were brilliant, yes, but because we told them they were brilliant, they stopped to exert themselves. And so at the end of the day, they do not perform like they would have because we made them think that they are brilliant and so they don't have to exert themselves. So we need to avoid the labels, because these can either make or break a mindset. The third thing that I want to share with us is that we need to minimize the fear for failure. Friends, failure is a good thing. It helps you realize that I can get up and try this again. You see, what we do in many of our settings is that we make the students so afraid to fail that when they fail, they feel like they are finished. They are broken. That is the end of the world. They will not try again because they are afraid to fail again. In my practice, I did certain things that I'm not very proud of, and I feel I could have contributed to that. But thank God I know better right now. When I would mark the student scripts, I would come to class and be able to read out from the top to the bottom. I don't know how many of you are with me. And then I would embarrass those that did not perform well. In my mind, I thought that by doing that, I was helping them realize that, they need to work hard. But what I was doing is that I was getting them afraid to fail. I was making them, feel like failure is a bad thing. I was embarrassing them. What I'm basically trying to say is that when we minimize the fear for failure and let learners know that I have not performed well now, but I can be able to perform better, and we seek them out, we seek to guide them. Where did you fail? What could you have done different? Next time, let's do this different. The students realize that when I fail, it's an opportunity for me to learn. And the next time, they will actually be able to do something different other than not try because they are afraid to fail. They will try because they know that when I fail, I am not embarrassed. but rather I am showed where the problem was, and therefore I am able to get better. So we minimize the fear for failure. The fourth thing is that we need to walk the talk. You cannot say that you're going to grow a growth mindset or to develop a growth mindset in a learner if you yourself still have a fixed mindset. You cannot enter the class and tell them. In senior one, we had teachers who used to come into the class and say, by the way, I am teaching you physics. Physics is hard. It is not for the faint-hearted. Already what you are trying to put in us or instill in us is fear, and to let us know that this thing cannot be done by everybody. So as growth mindset teachers, it needs to start with us. We need to be the ones that are walking the talk. We cannot demonstrate that, we cannot do things. We need to change the language that we are using. Use a lot of "you can't do this yet." Use a lot of encouragement. In your own life, if things do not work out, be the one that's going to look up and say, okay, I'm going to try again. I'm going to exert myself again. Because as you do that, as you walk the talk, it becomes easy for you to be able to give the same to your learners. And then the fifth thing I want us to take note of is that we can actually teach the children about a growth mindset. As we tell them about a growth mindset, they understand that, you know what, it is actually possible for me to exert myself and be able to perform. With that understanding, even the child takes a different approach because they know now they can grow their brains, they can be able to get better at anything. And so teaching them and explaining to them about this concept of a growth mindset can help them be able to develop this growth mindset in themselves. So I talked about 5 things. The first thing that I talked about was the fact that we need to be able to avoid labels. I also talked about the fact that we need to minimize the fear for failure. I talked about the fact that we need to praise wisely. I talked about the fact that we need to walk the talk. And lastly, the fact that we need to be able to teach our children about a growth mindset. My hope and my prayer is that as you try these things out in your classroom, your children will get a different picture of themselves. They will realize that they can be able to learn anything with hard work, practice, and effort. Let's go out there and make resilient students. Let's go out there and make successful students because of the understanding and the acquiring of this concept of a growth mindset. I look forward to hearing some of the testimonies from you. Please feel free to share in the comment section about, what you think about this, whether it's been helpful or not. I am hoping you'll be blessed by this message. Thank you so much, and bye.